I need y'all to like the video. Comment if you want, but turn your post notifications on so you know the next time I drop. We have an Anton Daniels panel, and in it, they're reacting to a black woman who has had an epiphany that maybe they're keeping each other single.
We say we're girls, but we're really selfish because anytime we champion rebellion against our men, it backfires on us. There's a saying going around with men saying men will sacrifice their happiness for a marriage when women will sacrifice their marriage for their happiness. And this narrative is spreading like wildfire to the point where men are being very anti-dating. That the more we broadcast our downfall of relationships, the more you share a one-sided story about how your relationship was so trash or how your marriage was so trash or whatever the case may be, although you feel like you're venting and you're helping, you're not. You're actually harming the dating pool that's out there. You're actually harming your future prospects. It doesn't hit the way we think it hits. We trauma bond together. We hate the opposite side even more. It doesn't eat the way we think it eats. If you're a part of the sisterhood, the way we say we are, be careful before you press record and you post that video. It might just need to stay in the draft.
Damn.
Okay. Is sisterhood ruining relationships? Go ahead, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, really heard you.
Absolutely. Because the things that people accept and this trauma bonding is crazy to me because I can never fathom just spewing out my stuff online and just wanting people to, I don't know what they want from it, but it's crazy to me.
The reason why they do that is because they want validation. They're searching for other people, even if it's a small percentage, to validate how they feel.
Anybody else? How do y'all think that sisterhood is damaging relationships today?
Exactly what she said. Like girls is like the way that I can't really add nothing. Like exactly what she said. Like I know me, if I was single and I was kind of like, some of these videos make me a little bit like, yo, I wouldn't, like make you just not even want to focus on money and just like the videos that I'll be seeing sometimes.
I don't think it's just people putting the information out there. It's that you got the sisterhood back in the bullshit. Like,
yeah,
it's the comments. Oh yeah, get it, girl. Yeah, leave him. Yeah, he ain't shit. So it's the cheerleaders and the people that's posting their life story, because it's really the girls that be champion that BS. That's why women usually do it and want to post their life story, because they see all the comments.
Exactly, about validation. There are going to be people in the comments that are going to say, yeah, I agree with this.
So it's about proximity. When deadbeat, like if there was a man that was a deadbeat dad, then every man was on the comment, yeah, fuck them kids. Yeah. Like woman kind of will be like, even the good men are cheering for this. Like people on this place say a lot of times, the good women are too close to the bad woman. And actually the good women are quiet as fuck. Like either you see somebody do bad behavior, and then instead of even the woman that are in between saying no, that this is not right, they actually co-sign that because they are afraid they're
shit's out here. Okay, one guy, just down there in Texas. When I came back, I sent you playing baseball. The kids want you got smacked in your head because something happened where your eye got messed.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean?
I think that a lot of times what we perceive as the good woman or the woman that even lives her life in a good way, I think a lot of the times that they feed into it too. I think that sometimes, they may be in a situation where they may not necessarily step out into that piece of grass, but a lot of times I think that it's the good women that also support the narrative. I think that some of these women that we perceive as good is being saved from themselves by the man that they with. And that the man that they with is too good for them to actually be able to get out in line with. And so that's the only reason why they're not in the street with the rest of them.
Because of the large demographic that hasn't had the protection and guidance of a male influence on a regular basis, their outlook and perspective of life is given to them solely from their mother. But them coming into contact with a strong man who don't play those type of games, that's what prevents them from making poor choices that if that man's presence wasn't there, they otherwise would make, because they're going to be so easily influenced by the generational curses that were passed down by the previous generation.
So that's the only reason why they're not in the street with the rest of them. But there are a lot of women that are perceived as good women that actually support the bullshit. It's a lot of women, for example, that may have went against voting conservative, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for the man that they was with actually influencing them and kind of dragging them along to be similarly like him, to be moving with the family. If you leave a lot of these women to their own devices, for some reason, a lot of times we think that women are as smart as we give them too much credit for. You know what I'm saying? We think that they are the ones that hold up the family. The women, a lot of the times in these families that are actually good families, are just perpetuating the narrative of the husband. They're mimicking the behavior of the person that they with. The man is so good. And see, that's the biggest thing. For men, in a lot of instances, we have to be either really, really great, or you just got to be a piece of shit. You don't really see any in-between men ever really getting credit. The guy that goes home, take care of businesses, take care of his family, and just, just kind of coast along, is just, he not making too many waves or whatever like that. Usually that guy catches the bad end of the stick. The guy that's the poop, Tyrese from Baby Boy.
You my woman, and them other hoes is tricks. I make love to you, I want to be with you, but I fuck other females from time to time. I don't know why, I just do it.
Homosexual, fucking on everybody, making sure that he getting everybody pregnant. We know his profile. He gonna be famous. He future without money. All right. It's the dudes that basically gotta they over and above and beyond everything. They are the ones that don't get the credit for the things that the wives are getting credit for, but that same wife would be just like the women that we see on TikTok and Instagram and all the rest of these platforms. If she was left to her own devices, she's being saved from herself. So a lot of times we think, well, if the good girl spoke up, y'all realize that she's not as smart as y'all think y'all was giving her credit for. And the reason that we pedestalize her is because she shut the fuck up and meet the expectations of her husband. I think that we are giving them way too much credit. Secretly, they scroll up. They like this shit. If you look at their algorithm, it's all bullshit. Half of the stuff that they watch on TV, Love is Blind, Love and Hip Hop, Single Girl Island, or whatever that shit is, or whatever. All of that junk is garbage, and they're entertained by it because, in a way, they kind of live vicariously through the shit that they consume. They know that if they ever left a situation, it would be way bad because they know y'all fucked up out there, but they think that y'all having fun and they don't necessarily disagree with y'all.
A lot of guys have to play a father figure to their women instead of just a husband, especially because a lot of women haven't had a father. So a lot of who they are is imparted onto that woman. A lot of his mannerisms, a lot of the way that his whole outlook on life. And society is so gung-ho about exalting women that the originator of just the whole process of how she sees the world and what gives her the title of a good woman is overlooked.
With that, I disagree a little bit.
I agree. Like your man, like if you got a good man, you not about to say nothing crazy on the internet because you already know he not going for that. You're not about to make me look crazy.
I saw like a stat. I should have screenshotted it, but I saw a stat earlier that was saying that the happiest relationships are left off the internet, whereas the relationships that are the most insecure, they're on the internet.
Yep.
Because
yeah, definitely. But I would like to give a different perspective. I don't believe that there is any kind of sisterhood going on, to be honest.
You don't think so?
So all these feminists, you don't think they are part of the sisterhood, even though if they don't believe it, they enable behavior, they push it. Yeah.
I think what she's saying is that it's not real.
Trigger is a sisterhood person.
It's real when you have real time consequences.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Fatty. No, just the reason why I'm saying that experience, anytime that I spoke out and would let, anybody that I was close to say, they were married, or if they had, they had their own family going on and they're going through certain things. Of course, as a sisterhood, you're like, yeah, let me talk to my sister and let me, let her know what's going on. As soon as I would say, hey, no, work it out. Hey, no, forgive. Hey, no, do this, you're demonized.
The sisterhood is what it is. She's trying to identify it as not being because it's not positive, but it is what it is. There is a sisterhood and y'all are keeping each other single intentionally. The sisterhood is as it should be, is made up of the sisters in their nature to be jealous of each other, their nature to give each other bad advice, their nature to champion loneliness. That's what the sisterhood is. It isn't ideal, but it does exist.
You get written off, and that sisterhood that we're talking about is not there anymore. As soon as you go against the grain,
so what?
Right, but that's the sisterhood. They don't like positive relationships,
Correct.
good yeah.
And
But
they
that
will
is the
literally
sister.
kick you
The
out the
sisterhood is
door.
like
This is Sparta!
say
So
yeah,
what? We all get demonized. That's the plight of a person that lives their lives righteously or try to do the right thing. You're always going to be demonized. From the time that you were in school, the good kid is the one that got, you know what I'm saying, teased.
No deed goes unpunished.
To the time that you was in college, the good kid is the one that maybe a lot of the women wanted to go and fuck on the bad boy, right? The good kid is the one, like men or women, men catch it like hell. It's just that y'all don't have the backbone to be able to endure through. But if you really believed in the word that you said that you did, then it says suffer for righteousness' sake, not to suffer to make everybody else happy. You doing
Oh
it
no,
because
yeah, no, definitely. No, definitely, Anton. But that's but what I'm saying is I don't believe there's an actual sisterhood going on. I believe there's a lot of emotional tantrums that people just
You want to have an idealistic definition of what sisterhood is, and so do we all. But the reality of it is there is a sisterhood. It just looks like that. It looks like women keeping women single. That is the common practice of most women. And until their thought process change, you're not going to see the sisterhood change, because the sisterhood is a sisterhood, but it's just a reflection of its members. That's it.
that chamber that y'all talk about, that echo chamber, it's just a big old echo chamber where you have to, if you want to keep all of the friends that you have,
why are
you
you
have
trying
to
to
be
keep
a
all
part
the
of the.
things you have?
Oh no.
The reason why is because women are social creatures. They need community. That's why, because of the matriarchy, a lot of black people's ideology is tribalistic. The matriarchy depends on the community. They need it. Why? Because they biologically know that they don't have the strength to take on the world as it is. They focus on reputation destruction versus overt attacks. It's always covert. You even think about it like the shows that a lot of women watch. He listed them. They're always dealing with people and drama. That's what entices women, because they are predisposed to have to rely on the community. That right there is why you see a lot of black people have these type of ideologies where they're so tribalistic. It's always us or them, in or out, Democrat or Republican.
Oh no. I'm not saying me personally. I'm good. I'm
not speaking on
literally
you
like
personally either. I'm speaking to the example that you're presenting. Why would you want to keep all of the friends that's toxic for you? If every last one of these people is not a reflection of you, you're supposed to be the light. Your life is supposed to be the thing that everybody gravitate to. So if you live in your life a certain way, they can't help but to either adjust when they're around you or get the fuck from around you, because they don't want to look stupid or they don't want to embarrass themselves. So you have to live, you got to live it regardless of what everybody else say and what everybody do. Even if you got to go it alone, it don't mean that they ain't paying attention. You still got to be the beacon of light and the example for everybody else. So if they persecute you, if they talk about you, if they want to kick you out, that's okay.
See, that's easier said than done, especially for women. Women are not designed to take on that type of burden. I wouldn't give a man an excuse. I think a man should be able to trudge out on his own, but women are predisposed to need community. Just on a evolutionary standpoint, they've evolved to need community just because they can't interact with the world the way that man can. They don't have the grip strength, they don't have the bone density, they don't have the speed, they don't have it. So they're predisposed to rely on community. So that's a very scary thing for a lot of women.
Yeah, and it's always been okay. But I'm just saying, I just don't believe that there's a sisterhood, because people are not holding. There's women out here that literally will say, "Oh, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do this." And there's people like me that are like, "No, I'm going to say something." And then as soon as you say something, but all the other women, they're like, "Oh no, yeah, they're championing, committing adultery. They're championing, families breaking up."
No, that's the world sisterhood, though. That's the world sisterhood.
Yeah.
No, doesn't that prove what you said?
Yes.
That's what you said. Like when you say, wait, 1 second. When you say good things, there's a bunch of women that block you, call you names and all that. That's the sisterhood. Is you every time you say something that doesn't align with letting women do whatever the fuck they want, there's a group of women that are going to try to suppress you. That's the sisterhood.
And this isn't just the women in the world. These are women that are actually saying that they believe in Christ. They follow God and everything. The ones that are in the word and in the scriptures, these are those women as well. So that's why I say from my experience, I don't see or have not experienced an actual sisterhood. I would love to experience that, but I don't believe there's women out here that are just bitter, ruining the relationships.
The reason that you haven't experienced it is because you haven't definitively felt as though you had to walk away. Because when you walk away, you then open yourself up for the people that actually rock with you or the people that's going in the direction that you're going in.
I wasn't disagreeing with Anton a little earlier. I agree with it is that he's saying, but just the mentality of how women are predisposed, that's a tall order. But it is true. You clear out the space and then you leave it open to attract whatever is in line with you. But you would have to first have the courage to cut those lines off and walk out on your own
to be able to embrace you. If you keep on embracing a bunch of people that the real sisterhood, because it is a group of people out here that think probably similar to you, that can pour into you, but you keep getting pulled on and drained and keep on being dragged back into somebody. When you in a room with people, somebody is going to influence somebody. Nobody just goes their own separate way. In some way, shape, or form, they're going to influence your thinking. It's going to influence the way that you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you eventually look at men and you look at husband or whatever like that. I believe this, and I know that we do have to take personal responsibility and accountability for our own, everybody, each individual. But the reason why people can't get influenced the right way is because we don't stay away long enough for them to actually pay attention to what you're doing. This is the honest to God truth. My DoorDash guy came up and he was looking a little dusty or whatever, and he was like, Anton, man. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I thought he was just somebody that recognized me from the internet. He said, dawg, you don't even remember me, do you? And I looked at him and he was, his tooth was a little rotten and he was looking a little dusty and all of that shit. And I realized he was a person that grew up with me in my hood. And he was like, you know what? I see you online all the time. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was going to run into you one day because, you still be in the city and shit like that. He was like, man, you know what? I'm going to get my life together, bro. Because I've been watching you, but now I see it in real life. I see who you are in real life. I actually ran back into you and, we kind of chopped it up for like 5 minutes or whatever like that. And the reason that is because I've been consistent. And I am exactly who I am in real life as I say that I am online. And he's seeing who I was all the way back from when we was younger and what that translated into. And it impacted him and influenced him even at this old age in our 40s.
Damn. I'm sorry.
He finally made the decision that he wanted to do something different with his life and he wanted different results because all of the shit that was around him and all of the stuff that he'd been embracing has been kicking his ass. He looked like it's been kicking his ass.
I was talking to one of my artists and I was explaining to them that there's a learning curve. You would have to be willing and open to hear other knowledge and other people to be able to beat that learning curve. Or else you're going to ride that learning curve all the way to the end. The only way that you can get pulled out of your learning curve is through the action of someone else imparting that knowledge on you, whether it's through a book or whatever.
And my point is just that if you stick with something and you consistent and you stand firm on what you believe, you may just impact people in a positive way, but they got to see it on you. It ain't always what you say. What you say is the cherry on top. They got to see it. They got to feel it. They got to see the success. They got to see what that light look like. Seeing your light shine will make other people, it make demons, it make devils uncomfortable. It make people uncomfortable when you are comfortable. When you doing great, when you went awesome, and when you stand 10 toes down and you don't give over into the shit that everybody else is doing, it make devils uncomfortable. Honest to God. They can't exist around you.
It also elicits a lot of hate. Not everybody's going to look at you and be like, damn, I'm inspired. Your life is actually exactly what you say it is. Better than I ever thought. Most people are going to hate on it. I'm just, there's a other side to this. I'm just trying to be, even and fair.
So they know that they got to change, and eventually they keep beating on them and they keep seeing it, and it influences them. It impacts people in a way that they can't deny. And so it forces them to make a decision. But if you keep making, it goes all the way back to the original conversation. If we keep on making a devil comfortable by patting and pity patting them, and making it seem like it's okay, what incentive do they have to change, or what chance do you give them to be impacted by your light if you just keep on petting them and making them seem like it's okay for them to continue to be in the mire with everybody else? They can't be influenced by you if you telling them that it's okay for them to still be what they are. So at some point, we have to make a decision with what we say, how we live, how we move, what our results is going to be, because either we going to influence them or we going to make it okay for them to continue to be of the devil. And you don't know who you going to influence or impact, but you got to make a decision. You got to stand on that shit. And they cannot see you waver, because the minute that they see weakness, they're going to be like, you know what? Maybe it ain't even all that. Maybe they hypocritical. It ain't even really what I think it is.
So that's real. That's very real. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I think I know what you was talking about, though. I think you was kind of saying, like, y'all know how, like, the black community is not really a community, because the second that you say, like, yo, I feel like my political beliefs is this. Move this man! Like, oh, you're not black no more. Fuck you. You're cool. Get out of here. I think that's kind of like, she was just saying, like, this thing ain't real. Like, this sisterhood. That's a fake sisterhood. They just agreeing in the comments because they all Saudi, but they not, that ain't real.
Nah, it's real. It's just real ugly.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the collective. I know for sure there are, certain people that I encounter that definitely have that sisterhood mentality. And it's like someone was saying in the comments, you got to build your tribe, you got to build your family. And it's like just encountering person by person. But it has taken me a minute to get where I am now. Today, I'm the person that, Anton is talking about, where I've changed and stripped away a lot of stuff. And I'm actually like living this finally, and it just takes people that long sometimes. So I understand it, but I don't believe that the sisterhood is ruining relationships. I just believe it's just a collection of women that are just bitter and, resentful. I don't believe it's the actual sisterhood.
So, but the sisterhood is just like a label word. It's just like me saying the Avengers. We know the Avengers are a group of heroes. The sisterhood doesn't mean that they actually fuck with each other. It means that they have real life consequences.
Okay, man, I know when the mainframe's gonna come crash down on like that grid, man. I like it down on pocket.
Comes to the way that they unify to go against certain things. You said it.
But Fadi, I do think we gotta address it, because a lot of girls like to call themselves girls, and it's just really like it just really mean like I enable
people. It's performative. It's cosplay. Yeah. I just want to be the girlies and tell everybody like it's the Lizzo situation. Yeah, love your curls, girl. And now I'm going to lose 150 pounds, and you are on dirt when I told you I support body positivity. It's performative, but just because it's performative and it's cosplay doesn't mean.
Yeah, the sisterhood does exist, and I think that the first step is admitting that, instead of trying to redefine what it is and hope that the narrative of what you want it to be replaces what it actually is the wrong way to go about it. You have to accept the fact that this is what your sisterhood looks like, and you're going to have to go inside and change it from the inside, and it starts with you. But
everybody shut the fuck up. Hey, shut the fuck up. Let me tell you something right now.
I need y'all to like the video. Comment if you want, but turn your post notifications on so you know the next time I drop.